frankly, he was a complete nuisance. In that he was one of those people who had his hands all over you and all over any one female who came in at any moment he can. But he was very friendly.
Ahoy there, mates! Anyone partial to fingers? Help yourselves, me hearties, while I have a word with your mum.
Stuart Hall's
the name. I like to sail over just to see those faces when they're a-tucking into fingers. Only whole cuts of sea fresh cod, and only I make a butter as crunchy as that. So take a tip from
Stuart Hall.
Give 'em fingers.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas you've just crossed over into. Holocaust.
We are the Holocaust.
I did something this week, Dalek.
Did you let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out?
I don't know who let the dogs out.
Who let the dogs out?
I don't know. I did do something though. You know we don't have Nathan's not around.
Yes.
He's still downstairs in the grid. I thought it would be a good idea to get a dog, because the flat's not really the same without that third person leaving a mess and hair and those kind of like really dense farts in the air and eating all the food and just generally being a bit of a slob around the flat. I figured there was something missing with him not around, and
I can see where you're coming from there, Hock. So tell me, which of the frag dolls did you chloroform and bring back here in a shopping basket?
He's been a good dog so far. He's been quiet for the whole show. And I'm sure things won't escalate to the point where there are a pack of dogs in the front room going crazy. So everything will be fine, I'm sure. Yeah. See, he loves it. He loves it.
He sounds adorable.
It's lovely.
No, don't touch that bit, Hock. It's not a reset switch.
I don't know. He seems to like it. It's fine. It's fine. I'll keep doing it. It's fine. Oh no, actually no. That's fine.
My name is Alistair Lytle, and this year I'll be running my dog Spot. The funny thing about Spot, he has got no spots, but he's got a blue eye.
I live on a farm in Donegal. It's been in the family for generations, as long as I remember. There's nowhere else I'd rather live than here in Ireland. There's no place like home. I was 8 or 9 when I ran at a little local trial, just solely with a dog of Dad's that wasn't really listening to me right. I was on One Man This Dog when I was 13.
Dalek.
Shall we play a game?
All right.
Have you been up to much after Infinite, or have you been taking a break?
I had a quick shot on Gears of War 3 actually, which I haven't played.
In Bouncy's honour. Do you know what? I've not played any of the Gears of War series.
I mean, the characters have always had backplots, but they're properly written this time, and there's proper structuring and pacing. There's a whole section where you get to play as Augustus Cole, and he spends most of it picking through a grocery store, and it's lovely. He sees this big cardboard cutout of himself shilling like Kellogg's Fruit and Fibre, and if you touch the display it goes, "The coal train runs on whole grain, baby! Woo!
The coal train runs on whole grain, baby! Wow!
How does he go again when he touches
The
the car?
coal train runs on whole grain, baby! Woo!
How does he go again?
The coal train runs on whole grain, baby!
Woo! What do you reckon to that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. 2 thumbs up, baby!
And it's just a lovely moment.
Wouldn't you prefer a good game of chess?
Later. Let's play.
War. Fine.
Let's do 2 Girls, 1 Hock, the section of the show where I subject Dr. Hamhock to the worst dregs of the internet and he reacts.
By reacting, it normally means that there'll either be a massive silence, me vomiting in oddly the exact same way as I vomited last week, or I'll destroy the site from Orbit, which is also an option to me.
It's the only way to be sure.
It's the only way to be sure.
It is, using my orbital platform. Hey, Dalek.
Yes.
Tell me about something awful.
What an excellent day for an exorcism. You'd like that? Intensely. It would bring us together.
Well, I regret to inform you that it's My Little Pony again this week.
Did you just mention My Little Pony?
Yes.
You know what happens when you mention My Little Pony.
I know what happens when I mention My Little Pony.
Warning. My Little Pony has now been targeted for termination from Orbit.
Continue!
But it's only a short one, and this is just so good. I couldn't resist it. This is from, I think it's DeviantArt.
What's that?
It's from runeoftheseamstress.deviantart.com.
You keep it away.
And here is the post. For those wondering where I disappeared to, I ended up back in the hospital on Monday night, bled for days, and they decided to do a C-section on Wednesday. I had a 50% placental abruption. Doctor said it would have, if I held off any longer, I would have needed a blood transfusion. But here she is, born at 32 weeks and 4 days from their charts. Pinkamena Zakora Smith.
It burns!
Oh no.
Now, for those of you who are outside the Bronosphere, Pinkamina's backstory is that her family were Amish rock farmers, and all of her family have very proper traditional names. And Pinky is her nickname. Her actual name is Pinkamena Diane. So, first name Pinkamena, middle name Zakora. Zakora is the token ethnic character in My Little Pony. She's a zebra rather than a pony, and she does voodoo and talks in a Haitian accent in rhyming couplets.
Oh, it burns!
We decided on pony names because something about them just fits her cute self and gives a lot of options for nicknames too. Yeah, I'm sure when the other kids find out she was named after a My Little Pony by an adult, they are going to fully explore the considerable options for nicknames.
Yeah, the first one that comes to mind would be fucking knobhead.
Yeah.
And where's your dinner money? And stand on your own. Don't be our friend. Fuck off forever.
Could you walk a few spaces back? Only I don't want anyone to get the idea that you're with us.
Not that I'm being agreeable to this article. I'm not, I'm fully opposed to it. And my finger is still hovering over the kill switch right now.
It's the only way to be sure.
But,
well, perhaps the next paragraph, it's not over yet, will push you over the edge. Our other friend has a son named Optimus Prime, who is almost 1. We're hoping they'll get along when she gets older. Yes, I'm pretty sure they will get along when they're older, when they've endured 10 years of go and stand in the corner of the playground with Pinkamena, Optimus Prime.
Hey, let's play British Bulldog. Pinkamena and Optimus Prime are in the middle.
Everyone. So yeah, I'm sure they'll have plenty to talk about, mostly knives and poisons and
how much they hate their parents. True story. When I was at college, there was a guy there who changed his name by deed poll to Megatron, but it wasn't forced on him. It was a choice.
Yes. Just as a little coda to that story, the baby called Pinkamena Zakora is from 2012, the same year, coincidentally, in which a woman named her baby #.
Is that named using the symbol, the gate symbol, or
no?
HAS?
The actual hash symbol wasn't part of the name. I don't think you're legally allowed to do that. Her name was #Jameson.
I don't think I can decide on this, on whether this should be nuked from orbit or not. When I was at school, I didn't really get bullied, even though my surname is Simcock, as in
Sim cock, little cock, smelly sock. Where's your cock? You haven't got a cock. Oi cock, cockhead, where are you cock? Smelly bell end cock man.
I didn't really get bullied much at school because I was a freak of nature. I was about 1.5 feet taller than everyone else when I was a kid, and I just stopped growing when I was 16. So I was fortunate, very, very fortunate. But
I wouldn't have thought that.
But my
anyway.
children won't be.
I would have thought
Sim City, Sim Earth, Sim Ant, Sim Hospital, Sim Cock.
Yeah, actually, those were around. Yeah, I was called Sim Ant for a while. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but I understand this story. I'm not nauseated by it. Do you know what? Maybe we could ask Bouncy as to... I mean, not Bouncy as in the containment grid Bouncy. And Bouncy as our new little furry friend. Why don't we ask him whether it should be flushed?
Okay, make it more sour.
I'm not sure what that means. What is that? What's that? It doesn't... Oh. Yeah, he seems to like it. I don't think it should be nuked from orbit. I'm sorry, guys. I really didn't mean to do that. Honest. Oops. Sorry.
You lovable scab, Dr. Hamhock.
Hello, I'm a man. I work in a video shop. I'm the man from the video shop.
Re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away.
And this week, most people have been trying to rent The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, the first in Peter Jackson's new trilogy based on J.R.R. Tolkien's fantasy children's book. A children's book that's no longer than the first Harry Potter novel. Yeah, that's right. A couple of 100 pages is now being stretched over 9 hours of celluloid. Well, say what you like, Peter Jackson knows how to get money from old rope, don't he? Using appendices and added notes that Tolkien wrote after writing the book, he claims that he's giving a more enriched and accurate feeling for what Tolkien felt the story of The Hobbit to be. And in elements he's right, but by God, he's stretching the paper very thin. If it's not careful, the finger is going to breach the hull.
Goldfinger!
But Jesus Christ, he's wearing the paper thin now. The story starts off with Martin Freeman as Bilbo Baggins. Well, it doesn't start off with him. It starts off with some scenes set around the early part of the first Lord of the Rings film, but soon starts as a flashback as such. Imagine that, a trilogy that's actually a flashback.
Hello, my name's Forrest Gump.
So, Bilbo Baggins, not played by Ian Holm in the past using like digitally de-aged makeup as in Tron Legacy, but instead played by Martin Freeman, who I still see as Tim off of The Office. He wanders around looking a lot like Tim of The Office, but with hairy feet and smoking a pipe. But he doesn't really seem to smoke it properly, he just sort of hangs it in his mouth and sits on a park bench that's in his own garden.
Hello, my name's Forrest Gump.
He then gets approached to try and steal like some treasure from a dragon who stole it from some dwarves and kind of destroyed a kingdom. Fair enough, I say, fair enough. But then you spend an hour of this plan being explained to you and some jokes in and around that dwarves are really good at doing washing up and stuff. Doesn't make much sense. It's got its moments, but frankly it's an hour that could have been cut right down.
Hello, my name's
Once he leaves the Shire as such, once he's on his journey, the film picks up a pace. Best scenes amongst it are a chase through goblin-infused like mine underground cavern things with who I thought was the King of the Goblins, voiced by Tom Conti. Turns out it was the bloke who did Dame Edna. And obviously the meeting between Bilbo Baggins and Gollum. Gollum, yet again, played by Andy Serkis, with such a plum that I almost wanted to fat myself in front of the television at his bony, spindly back. Anyway, it's going to do well. The next two will also do very well, but it's going to be 2 years before most people find out the end of the story. It's just a shame they can't pick up the book and read it themselves. They probably do it in an afternoon. It's not a big book. My point is, Peter Jackson is stretching this book out too far. He's stretching it thin. He's pulling Stretch Armstrong between two Tonka trucks, and something's going to break. But until then, I reserve the right to enjoy it, and you can enjoy it too. Next time I'll be talking about subtitles in films and why people should watch them more, not dubbed. And don't complain. Don't bring it back to me and complain, because I'm just going to look down my nose at you. I'll see you later. I've got people stood at the counter. They've been watching me record this while I've just been chatting away. I've not even been serving them. It's because that one at the front wants Danny Dyer film. I'm not going to rush to serve you. Yeah, I know you can hear me. Look, just go away, will you? We don't want your custom in here. I don't care if it's on the shelf. It's there to trap people like you. Now get out of my shop. See you later, fellas. And ladies, obviously. Sorry, I didn't mean to be sexist there. I do love the ladies.
Re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away.
Hi, Dalek. I'm Jill Dando. You might remember me from the BBC show about the holidays and stuff until I got the murdered after doing my Crime Watch thing.
I do remember that you got the murdered.
By Barry.
Barry Scott.
Bang! And
Bang,
the Dando's gone.
gone.
So, yes. I'm here to tell you about all the lovely holiday resorts that you should avoid if you're English in this section called... Do you know what it's called?
Foreign Mac.
With Jim Lloyd in Magaluf and Judith Chalmers in Saint-Tropez,
where we scan tripadvisor.co.uk and present you with the most hilarious and or racist comments from the comments section, provided by the Great British Unwashed Peanut Gallery.
This week it's from the El Kantoui Centre in Tunisia. A TripAdvisor member, so obviously doesn't want to be recognised out in the public domain, calls this one Holiday from Hell, although you might disagree. Entertainment very poor. Men dressed as prostitutes betting against each other, and a man stripping down to Y-fronts. And you call this family entertainment? This wasn't you, was it? You're not working on the entertainment.
No, if I knew where this was, I'd be halfway there by now. Men dressed as prostitutes sounds like a party, or at the very least, a beginning.
Do not go to El Marodi Palace if you want a nice holiday, by a woman called Way Too Barbara.
Way Too Barbara. What is? I'm trying to parse that, and I'm just failing. Is that like a encouragement, like
Way to Barbara, Barbara?
Is it an admonishment, sort of like,
oh no, Barbara, for heaven's sake, woman, that's way too Barbara. Put it back on.
Wipe it up.
Can you have too much Barbara?
Depends which Barbara we're talking about. Barbara Windsor, I don't think you could have too much Barbara.
Anyway, Way Too Barb says, the entertainment was a disgrace. I've seen better at Butlins. A singer who sang out a tune while playing a keyboard at a time was the most of the week's entertainment. And if it wasn't for a great Scottish guy, there would have been nothing worth watching.
I want to hear more about the great Scottish guy. Because I'm guessing, she doesn't mention what he did. I'm guessing he wasn't actually part of the entertainment at all. It was just a Scottish guy that was there. Oh, Jesus, fuck off, lady.
Leave me alone, please, Barbara. I'm trying to have a quiet drink with my boyfriend. Can't you see we're bent as a two-bob note? Oh, you don't care? You want to be our friend? Well, do you know what? We're too Barb! Terrible Hotel from Rebecca S. 620 from Nottingham.
Is she a Terminator? Come with me if you want to live in Nottingham.
Come with me.
Got a nice little semi. Food's a bit greasy. Neighbours are nice.
But don't go in the pool because someone's shat in there. The food and drinks, as for queuing, it was like a cattle market. The Germans just pushed in and were greedy to say the least. Meat was uncooked. There were unexpected ingredients like hairs and bird feathers, and everything tasted like it had been cooked in sand. I saw it on MasterChef recently. Anyway, the fizzy drinks were not fizzy, so they're just drinks. Don't ask for ice in your drink because they slam it on the bar and tell you it's cold enough. Random. This is where it gets interesting. We were warned not to go in the indoor pool as someone had opened their bowels in it and they just fished it out and never cleaned it. Which leads me nicely on to Fiona74 from Hertfordshire, who says, food was dire. My favourite pastime was playing Guess the Meat. Had lovely loose bowels all week.
Lovely loose bowels.
Lovely loose bowels.
Sexy, sexy loose bowels.
I think that Scotsman on Barbara's holiday probably appreciated loose bowels.
He probably appreciated a game of Guess the Meat as well.
Don't waste your money. Family of 4, whose nick is Junction 19 of the M62. Hotel is not for the English. It's dominated by the French, some of which are very rude.
Well, some of which, they're not dogs.
Some of which are very rude. Even the Germans were third in line after the Belgians. Right, last push, just to get something in the bank.
I bet your little Scottish guy appreciated a last push to get something in the bank.
What accent shall I do today? Who knows, they're all the same.
Do a Spanish accent.
Do a Spanish one. Germans, Germans, Germans.
No, that's German.
Germans, Germans, Germans. No loungers, no drink after 11. We had to be up at 4:30 a.m. to have a chance of a lounger. Mainly English people affected, after the pool attendant had been taking a backhanders, a couple of dinar to save loungers for those who wanted to pay.
Taking a backhander from the little Scottish bloke.
Germans complain about no loungers, and they are treated like kings. We ended up down the back street. And very scared. Restaurant is like opening the doors to a hostel for tramps. This might be the Scottish guy that we're talking about. Entertainment. Well, redcoats and butlins, we love you. It's terrible. We did try and join in, but it's a bit hard when they play Hey Macarena for the 5th time of the day.
I want to name and shame Britain's most disappointing snacks.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, it's more exciting than the garbage you've come up with this week.
That's true.
All right. Let me see if I can't get your dander up about this. Sherbet fountains.
They should have known.
It's got so out of control.
Putting Bassett's licorice all sorts into a handy-sized bag. This is bound to happen.
Bassett's licorice all sorts. One too many, and you might turn Bertie.
Motherfucking sherbet fountains.
What in the world is disappointing? And what the fuck were you expecting?
And it's the phrase sherbet fountain. It's so evocative. A sherbet fountain sounds like something that you'd find in Willy Wonka's factory, only with slightly less chance of killing you in an overly preachy way. The actual sherbet fountain, the sherbet is ruined because you've got a giant piece of licorice in there, and putting licorice in some sherbet is like, well, basically putting a dog shit in some sherbet.
Something you'd know all about.
Meet the finalists from this year's crafts. They have what it takes to be the best at the world's most famous dog show, and they're all regularly fed on
sherbet,
because top breeders know that correct feeding is vital to keep a dog at the peak of fitness and condition. For nourishment you can see in a dog.
Motherfucking sherbet fountains.
Top breeders recommend it.
It's just sherbet with some dried up dog shit in it. A good comparison would be the golden shower. When you hear the golden shower, you might also think of something that you might find in Willy Wonka's factory. But instead, it's just someone peeing in your mouth.
If you've just got serious issues with the description. If they called it dipping a dog shit in sherbet, you'd still like it. and it wouldn't be disappointing. Next, hit me.
Alright, next. Extreme Chewit.
I think my response is probably going to be the same as the last. Okay, Extreme Chewits.
We took the muncher to some of the best places to eat in the world. He ate the Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
The Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Yeah.
The Empire State Building. But not one of these buildings could match the delicious chewy flavors of Chewits. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Chewits are even chewier than Barrow in Furness Bus Depot.
Don't you fucking love Chewits? Didn't you have to try every single flavour? Banana flavour and ice cream flavour and cola flavour and apple flavour?
I only found them disappointing if they hadn't been in my pocket for half an hour before I ate them.
Are you sure about that? Or did you not find them disappointing as a result of the TV commercial, which claimed them to be chewier than Barrow in Furness Bus Depot?
There was an element of me that wanted to tear through the packaging and eat the paper as well. Doesn't change the flavour.
It doesn't change the flavour at all, curiously. Extreme Chewits taste like a cross between rhubarb and custard sweets and burnt rubber, but they're slightly too big to be comfortable in the mouth. So not only...
Even speaking to my girlfriend again. They have to be ergonomically sound, yeah. But crushingly disappointing, they're probably not, let's be honest. We'll agree to disagree on that.
I am tremendously insulted by Golden Wonder's The Nation's Noodle.
Don't fuss, Mum. You know what I like? Blooming taters out here, Sarge. Put the kettle on.
When you find yourself with a hungry moment, just put the kettle on and make a pot noodle. Tender pasta noodles with vegetables and soya pieces in a rich, savoury sauce. Choose from 5 tasty flavours and eat hot from the pot.
Now mind your shirt, Gerald.
So try pot noodle today.
The proper daddy of noodles.
Now in new sweet and sour and cheese and tomato flavours.
I mean, I thought after Golden Wonder lost the license to make pot noodle that they would be able to go out by themselves and make, you know, the proper daddy of noodles. Full of chemicals and sludge and rat droppings and all of that other good stuff.
I might be with you on this. I might not be crushingly disappointed that I'm not getting dried carbohydrate with 100% MSG seasoning that you just stick kettle water into. But a pot noodle tastes like a pot noodle because it's jam full of shit.
No, the best instant noodle is still Shin Cups by Nongshim.
Your reference point is a shitty Shin Cup, but it's shitty for the right reasons. You're expecting shittiness, it gives you lots of shitty goodness, and you wash it down with the liquor in the bottom, which is just like liquid shit. I have no crushingly disappointing snacks, unless they cost 200% of the RRP. My girlfriend, the South African expat, Kelly, she said...
Jaffa cakes are crushingly disappointing.
Strawberry Jaffa cakes are crushingly disappointing.
Those who choose to eat strawberry Jaffa cakes deserve to be disappointed in a crushing manner.
They deserve to be crushed.
She said,
You English fucking love anything orange. Weirdos. Chocolate orange, Jaffa cakes, marmalade.
The cast of The Only Way is Essex.
Oompa Loompas.
Yuck, it's fucking weird.
So we're no longer going out now. So this section has been of quite a bit of use. It's freed up my spare time and my bank account, so thanks for that.
We narrow the field just a little now as Stuart reveals your comments in Points of View.
I think we'll jump straight into our Lolacourse mailbag.
Hello, please leave a message after the tone.
Let me out of here, bastards. Let me out. God, I can hear you talking out there. You don't need to pretend you can't hear me. I'm trapped in here with Lindsay Lohan. Oh, I didn't even realise she was dead. Ooh, look, it's John Belushi. Well, the ghost of John Belushi. He was supposed to be in the first Ghostbusters film, but he died. You remember in Ghostbusters 1, that ghost that gave a blowjob to Dan Aykroyd? This is supposed to be my show. I'm the star. You locked me in a containment grid for Ghostbusters.
Here's another one. This one also comes from inside the containment grid. This one is via snail mail.
Snail mail. Yeah. I like what you did there.
Yeah. And it's actually on BBC headed notepaper.
Oh.
It says, Dear Holocaust, it's come to our attention that you are the new landlords of the property that we occupy within the Ghostbusters containment grid. Please sort out the plumbing, leaky roof and floorboards. Our undead BBC lawyers are standing by to take you to court, and our hidden cameraman have enough footage to put you on the next series of Cowboy Builders from Hell. Yours sincerely, Jill Dando.
Blimey.
Yeah.
She gets around, doesn't she?
I know. It looks like Jill Dando is conducting a consumer show from beyond the grave.
Jesus.
Against us.
You must feel like that, like our consumer section is has been freshly dug up and sitting rotting in the corner.
Speaking of which, old Joystick, he is actually the low-cost tech guru, so we're going to have to send him in there to fix the pipes. Yeah, but
oh, let me read you something.
Yeah,
and it's a little letter which was sent to the Redditch and Ulster Advertiser, that's my hometown, Redditch, in the West Midlands. This is on their website. This is entitled "Nightmare on the Number 57." May I read it to you?
Go ahead, be my guest.
Inspiration.
Yeah, but
I wish to express my anger with regards to my experience on the 57 bus. I needed to pop into town and caught the 15:12 bus straight after work. I think he's doing your hours. As I stepped onto the bus, I noticed it was completely packed full of passengers. But I had an appointment and didn't have time to wait for the next bus to arrive. I was that squashed, I was actually pushed forward against the front window screen along with other passenger. People on the bus were screaming out for the driver to continue with the journey and not allow any other passengers to board, but he replied by saying,
"I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't."
Because that's what they sound like with a soft West Midlands accent. Young children on the bus were crying as they were so squashed and couldn't move. Parents were having to put their children in the luggage compartment in order to keep them safe. Oh my god, what a load of old shit.
Yeah, but yeah.
A fellow passenger aired his concerns, only to be sworn at by the driver and told if he didn't shut up, then the bus would be stopped and anyone that had a problem could walk the rest of the way into town. When I phoned the bus company to make a complaint, the woman I spoke to told me that after looking at the volume of passengers on the bus at that time, she was shocked to see how overly packed the bus actually was. 14 bodies extra were allowed to board that bus over the legal limit.
I'm loath to find any sympathy in my heart for that one. I spent a year commuting into Tokyo on the Chuo line, and yeah.
Is this
she mentioned that the luggage racks were still free to put children in. Yeah. If the luggage racks are still free to put bodies in, it's not packed yet. If your testicles haven't receded into your body to make room in a Darwinian defense mechanism, then it's not packed yet. If you're not actually inside a woman in front of you, then it's not packed yet.
They used to poke you onto the train with sticks, or is that just an urban myth?
It's largely an urban myth. Those guys do exist, but by and large, people are quite capable of getting on that, forcing themselves on themselves. Yeah, but I ought to have a podcast by myself.
That's probably true.
It'll just be me in a white room with no windows or doors, shouting at the universe and weeping.
Sex talks about apps.
Hang on, I just need a glug of Sainsbury's Stamford cream.
Oh, shush! Shush! The thing is, nothing really shocks me anymore. I'm sure you feel the same. Nothing truly shocks me. The actions and the powerful people in the world.
He thinks he's coming home, but he's only made of foam. He's Mr. Tony Blair.
Maybe I get a little bit upset that the right people aren't doing the right things. But nothing really shocks me. A group of people here on the internet who wank off to books on the secret landscapes of the UK, or can only get off with their girlfriends when they've got the complete works of Ronnie Barker on their pillow next to their girlfriend's face. Nothing surprises me.
I'll tell you what shocks me.
This!
No.
This?
I'm not shocked by Guile's theme. Guile's theme goes with everything. What shocks me is Slice on the iPad. You ever played that?
No, hit me.
It's a game where you have to move knives. It draws knives and razor blades and scissors and stuff, and there's a button underneath this pile of knives, and you have to move them out of the way with your finger one at a time. You know, like in Saw, where they have to get the key out of the bottom of a pit of junkie syringes.
Yeah,
like that.
Is this like Kaplunk?
Yeah. No, not really like Kaplunk. It's more like Twister for your fingers with bodily maiming involved. Damn. And it's not terribly violent. All that happens is if one of your fingers slips and you actually touch the edge of one of the blades, then a big blood splot goes on the screen and you have to redo the level. And if you think about it, there's no actual really terrible consequences. The only thing, the worst that can happen if you were doing it for real, is that you would get a little nick on the end of your finger. But there's just something about the game that bugs you like it's real. I've given it to about 5 different people to play with, and every single one of them has flinched back from the screen when they've accidentally touched the edge of the blade.
All the little games and websites and subcultures that we touch upon in this Podcraft cast will be on the website this week, so you can follow links.
Oh, thanks very much for that, mate. Now I've got to review it.
Finish him.
Yes, that's true.
You must crawl into the same pit of squalor you force your customers into.
Sex talks about apps.
This is a section which is certainly not nicked from Bouncy's essay question on the Mature Gamer in any way at all.
Stole it.
Where I ask you your opinion on a hot topic, and you give me your answer, and then I ridicule it and tell you why you're wrong and an idiot. The question this week is going to be, what is going to save the games industry? Actually, starting off last year, Acclaim went under, and Acclaim made Saints Row 3. Then we've had Squaresoft this year, who have lost 13 billion yen, I think. They basically lost £5 on every game they've sold, and they've sold 8 million AAA titles. As the Newsbot said last week, biggest drop in PC sales in recorded history. Intel have not adjusted their projected earnings at all. They're just going, nope, we're still going to sell the same amount of chips. People have been taking the piss out of Disney for closing down LucasArts. Don't get on Disney's case for closing LucasArts. Disney are the sensible ones here. The AAA video game space is like an exploding base at the end of a movie or video game. And Disney are like Sigourney Weaver at the end of Aliens, grabbing Newt and getting the fuck out. Although, to be more accurate, they've actually... Whereas Intel and Squaresoft are like Stephen Merchant at the end of Portal 2, where he goes, yeah, pay no attention to that siren. That siren's broken. All of that's said, with the industry burning around us and everyone standing in the flames going la 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 with their fingers in their ears, what is going to save the games industry? I'm gonna tell you.
Tell Bouncy Ball.
Tell
Bouncy.
All we need to do is make a delightful animated movie which reminds people of the joy of gaming and gets back to their roots. Hear me out. The movie is called Rape It Ralph. And this is sort of
Are we still recording?
And it's about a video game, a retro video game called Fucks It Felix. This is like a crazy climber type game where there's lots of windows in a building and little naked women appear in the windows and they all go, "Fuck it, Felix!" And Fucks It Felix has got a rival, and that's Ralph. And in every level he jumps on the top of the building and goes, "I'm gonna rape it!" So anyway, at the end of the day, all of the characters from all of the porn games, like, chill out together, and like, Felix and Ralph get out of their game and they go into the central hub area, and,
We're sorry about the loss of transmission. We're doing what we can to correct the fault, and normal service will be resumed as soon as possible.
May I stop you? If it's possible to stop this snowball, I don't even know if it's snow, it's white and clumpy. Your solution has a pattern of sorts, in concept at least. I'm not convinced that everyone will buy into it. Maybe you could rebrand it a little bit.
You haven't heard the hook of the movie. Rape It Ralph. He ends up in lots of different AAA titles. Tomb Raider, he ends up in Metroid, he ends up in Candy Crush Saga, and which are all, of course, not pornographic games. And he ends up trying to rape the characters in all of them.
Anyone partial to fingers? Help yourselves, me hearties, while I have a word with your mother.
We are the Holocaust.
If you've enjoyed the Holocaust, why not try these other fine holiday destinations? Visit the Picturesque Monday Movie Show, which has basically the only movie reviews worth a fuck now that Ebert's curled his feet up. Make a side journey to the quaint Gamescast to enjoy their fine wines, gaming chit-chat, and to meet Britain's only spherical human. On Friday, the circus comes to town, courtesy of the Mature Gamer podcast and its fascinating menagerie, including the coated man and the girl who can only communicate via sex noises. And for those of richer blood, no true connoisseur of burping and swearing at the internet can afford to miss What a Fool Believes, the web's second finest purveyors of aliens references and saying cunt a lot.